I came to speak in favor of the City Council's support in passing Resolution 4749 that's on the agenda for today. This is the resolution that's supporting the passage of Senate Bill 39, which prohibits the indefinite suspension of driver's licenses for those re-entering society, as it says in the agenda and on the resolution. However, it actually does a lot more than just deal with driver's license suspensions. And everything that's in SB 39, it's truly a whole lot of stuff, and it's a whole lot of vital things. So there are 5 big things that SB 39 would do. It would make it so that courts would have to analyze a defendant's ability to pay before imposing any kind of court costs, which includes fines and fees that are added on top of that. It would also make it so that driver's licenses could not be suspended if a person was unable to pay their court fines. It would make it so that courts were banned from issuing late fees for unpaid fines. And it would make it so municipalities would have to disclose how much of their budgets come from these fines and fees. And then lastly, it would make one consolidated system.
There's no answering for where this money's going. Now, on those fees that are being collected, one fee goes to volunteer firemen for the ambulance service. But there is nothing in the bills that tell us how that money is being spent. There's nothing in the law that says how much of their budget comes from these fees. We don't know. Quite honestly, we could be, for all I know, we could be paying for some beer parties. I don't know, because nobody's telling us. Another thing is, if you're defended by a public defender in court, there's $100 automatically tacked on as a fee. This does not go to the public defenders. This goes to the general fund. Now, I know of one case, it was a few years ago, a friend of mine could not afford an attorney, had already said they don't belong in jail. So we're just mass incarcerating people just because they're poor. And this, I think, is wrong. So, again, I want to thank you for letting me speak and appreciate and hope the City Council does follow through on this first step and follow through all the way to get these passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank the community and Network Delaware and the ACLU Smart Justice Campaign and DCJ, Delaware Center for Justice, Kate Parker specifically for drafting this legislation that is going to pass. I am someone who has been a victim of fines and fees, of license revocation. I've been stripped of that privilege that we have of driving in the past, and it's something that it debilitates you. It stops you from doing what it is that you need to do. Imagine getting out of jail, going to court, being told that you're on probation now, and you have to go to the probation office to see your probation officer every month, and you're someone that is used to driving. You want to drive, and you want to get there for sure. You're somebody that you might look down on the bus because of how it is that you grew up, and you see other people getting on there, and you think that, if you're getting on the bus, you're poor or you're less than, so you don't want to ride the bus. You want to show off or whatever, but you don't have your license anymore. A lot of times when you're in jail for doing the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. And when you get out, right away, you're not automatically going to be that right person now for the right reason. You're not thinking like a citizen that is upstanding just because you're out of jail now. So I rode to probation in my car without my license because I didn't want to be on the bus, and I didn't want to be looking like somebody that was getting on the bus back then. But I was pulled over, and I had extra stuff tacked on to what it was that I already had to deal with. And I had that same situation over thing. And I want to say one thing. This Constitution
Your time, sir.
that we have, this Bill of Rights, the 8th Amendment says excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed,
Your
nor
time,
cruel
sir.
or unusual punishments inflicted. If you're poor,
Your
it's
time,
cruel.
sir.
I'm sorry.
Your time, sir.
But
Your time, sir.
one more thing.
Your
One
time.
more thing.
No,
One more thing
your
I got
time,
to say.
sir. There are other people waiting. Your
It's
time,
not
sir.
because you don't want to
Your
pay.
time,
It's because
sir.
you can't pay. That's it.
Time yourself better.
Sir, quiet in chambers, please. Quiet in the chambers. Again, sir. Quiet in the chambers, sir.
I'd like to just go off of what Mr. Hall said, because I thought everything that he said was quite valid, and I think whenever we read an excerpt from the Constitution at a city, on the local level, I feel like it's kind of cool. But anyway, I'd like to first of all commend the council for considering this resolution, and I'd encourage them to support it and pass it. And using Wilmington's voice to encourage the courts is a great first step. But as other folks have said tonight, there are other things in SB 39, and we need to take the momentum from passing this resolution and go on to try to apply it to the state level. And so talking about other things within SB 39, one of those things is the abolition of late fees for failure to pay your court debt and fines or fees. So having to pay a near $300 charge is out of the blue would cause many Wilmington residents to have to stop paying their bills temporarily, and that's just a charge that they wouldn't be able to deal with. And so tacking late fee on top of that is punishing them and asking them to pay more when they couldn't pay in the first place, which doesn't make sense. Their only additional offense is that maybe they had to keep the lights on, they had to feed their kids that week. And charging late fees over the existing debt punishes economic vulnerability itself. This is both cruel and unconstitutional. And we're punishing people for lacking means and reducing those means at the same time. This inhumane court system currently has, this court debt apparatus, as part of the court system, currently has no concern for the everyday living conditions and economic pressures that constrain defendants' ability to pay. It has multiple problems, from the fundamental to the bureaucratic, but the late fees are the kicker. Because along with the fees, it isn't just a number on a document or in their checkbook. It exacerbates the very conditions of economic strain that prevent them from paying their court debt on time in the first place, even if, as Mr. Hall emphasized, they do want to pay. And the vast, I would say, citizens do want to pay their debt. They're just in a situation in which they can't because they have to keep the lights on. So this creates a vicious cycle, a loop of one, punishment on the one hand, and two, a decreasing ability to pay, which just gets consistently worse. So this is a cycle from which a person and their entire family affected as well might not escape for years and years. And as this resolution suggests, our courts need to consider ability to pay.
30 seconds.
But that's not the only thing. I would urge the council to pass this resolution. I would urge all Wilmingtonians to look to our fellow citizens in Newcastle, in Sussex, and Kent, and advocate for broader action on the state level as well.
Especially low income and residents of color, many of whom make up our Wilmington community. So I'm excited to hear council's hopeful support of ridding of this awful practice. If done, it will prevent harm to thousands. I find it also crucial to note how this necessary reform is one of several Delaware needs in order to comprehensively fix our broken fines and fees system. The resolution council is voting on tonight notes in a synopsis that SB 39 gives judges power to consider a person's ability to pay before assessing fines and fees. This is critical. Right now, court fees are enforced universally.
Councilmember Gray.
Yes.
Councilmember Congo.
Yes.
Councilmember Oliver.
Yes.
Councilmember Turner.
Yes.
Councilmember McCoy.
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Friel.
Yes.
Councilmember Adams.
Yes.
Councilmember Dixon.
Yes.
Councilmember Guy.
Yes.
President Shabazz.
Yes.
11 yeas, 2 absent.
Declared adopted. Councilmember Friel.
Madam President, I have one ordinance for third and final.
Ordinance number 19048, agenda number 4736. An ordinance